Hey guys, how you doing? As you can see, I'm at the ocean, getting ready to do a little bottom fishing from the cliffs. I'm at Boiler Bay, just a little bit north of Depot Bay in Oregon, and it's pretty rough today. Anyways, I guess we'll get to it and see what we can do. Slide you on my chest mount. Fishing with they call it a chicken rig or a dropper rig. I'm not quite sure what everybody calls it, but I just put a shrimp fly with a little pink worm on there. I was doing pretty good with it last time, down to a 3-ounce weight. And then casting it to the moon off the cliffs. As you can see, it's a pretty decent drop off, and if you fall in, you're probably dead. So we're gonna try not to do that. Alrighty. And I might be in the kelp out there already. A lot of kelp if you go, you know, probably 300 yards out there, and being at the top of this cliff, you have a little bit more of a vantage point or leverage to be able to get your snags out, but you still get snagged quite a bit. And the kelp is one of the things that, if you're snagged in it, it moves around, so you don't have a lot of leverage to pull it out. Kind of a pain. And I just slowly work that worm back in. A lot of times the fish will hit it on a drop. I'm using a 10-foot, I believe, medium action St. Croix Avid surf rod. I really like this rod. They're rather expensive, but you do get what you pay for. This has enough backbone for me to be able to basically winch the fish up the 25-30 foot drop off, but yet still sensitive enough that I can feel the fish rather easily. We already caught one fish today, a China rock. I didn't have my GoPro on at the time, of course. We actually caught that down about a mile south of here, half a mile south of here, at basically water level. I was wearing my waders, and tide's coming in, so it got to the point where it was time to get to higher ground. So as you can see, you're down too low and those big waves come in. I normally do pretty decent though in this rough surf. Normally catch a decent amount of fish. I'm going for lingcod and sea bass mainly. Or rockfish, I guess. Another nice thing about the ocean when you're at this kind of a vantage point being up is because I'm fishing in fairly close, there is enough white water and wash that if you do get snagged, a lot of the times if you just drop a little slack, it will wash or rinse or, you know, move your weight around enough that it'll drop out of whatever crevice or hang up you have. Not always. That's a pretty decent sized wave. See, like that. You just kind of give it a little bit of slack. I was snagged up, couldn't get it out. Just wait for a couple big. You just got to be a little bit patient sometimes. And the thing is, at the top of the water, it's really rough. Down below, it's just whooshing around a little bit. Those fish don't care. I've caught fish directly down on rough days just like this before, in that white water. The reel I'm using is a Daiwa BG 5000. Extremely, for the price, extremely good reel. Holds a lot of line. They're actually, for a 5000 series reel, are quite a bit bigger than most 5000s. I'm using 30-pound braid, tough line braid. And I think I got almost 500 yards of 30-pound on here. Or maybe even a smidge more than 500 yards, because this says here, braid, 40 pounds, 480 yards. So I probably got a little over 500 yards of braid on here. That's a lot of braid, a lot of line for a lot of casting, which is nice. Oh, nope, snag. But I always say, if you're not getting snagged, you're not where the fish are for the most part. On the Oregon coast, you need to be in the rocks. You know, they're called rockfish for a reason. And, you know, that's kind of the price you have to pay to catch these fish. You got to get where they're at. And on rough days like this, when they're not, no boats coming out, because look at this. That's 20, 30 foot swell. And another 20, 30 footer behind it. Washed clear up over the rocks. Pretty impressive. Holy shit. Excuse my language, sorry about that. set the hook.